something very different today. You see, Christian, electric mountain biker, has been kind enough to lend me his Rocky Mountain Powerplay. I thought, rather than do the usual, blast out as many runs as possible, I would put an e-mountain bike to the test up in the lakes involving a hiker bike. So the route I'm on today is going up past the youth hostel at Glenridding, up Keppel Cove, up the zigzags to the summit, and then down Wagon, and my favourite bridleway ever, which is the one down Patterdale. And I wanted to do this loop for a few reasons. It's one of my favourites. I think the hiker bike bit will really put to the test whether an e-bike is a great idea for getting really high up in the big mountains, and it's all bridleway. But what I won't be able to tell you is all the gumph about power settings, battery life, how all that electric gubbins down there works and all that, because I haven't got a clue. As I mentioned, I'm a Luddite. I have only ever ridden one 29er, and that was back in 2011 on Leith Hill, up a hill. Proper Luddite. I was still using 26-inch wheels until 2 years ago, and I saw nothing wrong with them. Still don't. So here, in Magical Fisheye Lens view, is a closer look at Christian's bike, Rocky Mountain Powerplay. And very nice it is too. It's actually a medium and I ride a large, but that doesn't really bother me. I rode medium-sized bikes for years, thinking that they were the right size for me. Whoops! It's got Fox suspension, it's got, I don't know, fancy wheels. It's got all kinds of stuff on it. I'm not about to give you a full lowdown on the bike though. Christian has already done that in a very nice video, which I will try and link to here or somewhere. So if you want to know about the bike and what it's like, etc., go and look at that. This is just a ride. So this, I'm going now, it's the zigzags. And yes, people on regular bikes can ride up it. I've never been able to. It's steep, goes on for ages. It's a nasty climb. Not so much today. Still out of breath though. Now many people would say that e-bikes are cheats bikes, but it's allowed me to ride up this, up the zigzags, which I've never even thought about doing before. Usually I get off and push up, so the fact that I've ridden up rather than pushing, is that cheating? I wouldn't have ridden it anyway. I will say it's not all been plain sailing, probably down to my technique, maybe position on the bike, but I've had to stop a couple of times because of the front wheel lifting and going off course. As I say, probably down to me, but it's a little bit frustrating. And one thing I never thought I'd be doing on the 9th of May is a bloody snow ride. I hate snow rides. Oh dear, I did sort of think there might be snow up here today, but I didn't think it would be that deep. Now this e-bike, like many others, has walk mode, but walk mode is no good if you can't get traction. Onwards and upwards into the clouds. I've got snow in my shoes now. Now I usually like to have a chit chat at the summit of hills, but today that's not the summit's beyond that, but as you can see it's in the cloud. So I sort of stop here and get some nice views with Derwent water in the background, but the cloud's about to cover that too. And I was going to say, there's Skidder. Bye bye Skidder, into the clouds you go. Now to me, there's advantages and disadvantages to e-bikes. The advantages are obvious really. I mean, they assist you in getting up the hills. So, strictly speaking, you can get more runs in you're not as fatigued, you can go for longer, and hell, they're a lot of fun. I mean, that climb up there, the zigzags, honestly, I wouldn't dream of doing it usually. I really would not. On that, it wasn't easy. I was out of breath, but I rode up it. The question now is, will I be able to ride up this? Because it looks like the path is covered in snow. God, that wind is killer as well. Guessing the audio is going to be a bit bad, and I apologise for that, but there's not much I can do really, apart from rig a gigantic bucket, put it over my head and talk with that on. And that's not really conducive to riding, is it? There we go. Happy days. Still not a summit though. We drop and then we go up a really steep bit over there. Oh my god. This is the descent. I can't even pedal. What is going on with the weather this year? Just bloody ridiculous. I don't mind admitting I'm a bit timid down here today. Snow, strange bike. Oh god, that snow is so deep I can hardly pedal. And wind, gusty wind. Look at that. Bloody hell. During lockdown, when I dreamed of lakes rise, I thought, well, by the time we get out, the weather will be good and we'll have fun sunrise. But never thought we were not to get this! Christ, I hope Dolly Wagon's not like this. I'm the dead man. God almighty. Bloody hell. That was the slowest I've ever been down there. And now, the challenging part. This is where it gets steep. Let's see if I can get this walk mode to work. God, you've got to press the button so hard. I think my thumb's going to be more tired than I would bloody walking. Up we go. Forget walk mode. I'm not going to lie to you, that was not pleasant. It wasn't quite as bad as maybe I imagined, but it wasn't pleasant. And as mentioned, it's not the worst hiker bike in the lakes. The things we do for content. Good God, that's cold. Whoa! Roll on spring. Oh, hold on. It is spring. Made it to the top, and as you can see, it's shrouded in mist. Can't see a damn thing, and it's blowing a gale. I mean, this bike weighs apparently 52 pounds, and I'm not joking. The wind just picked up the back end when I was walking with it and swung it round. That's yeah, a strong wind. Well, this is not panning out how I hoped. This is supposed to be a rather awesome test ride on Christian's e-bike and see what they're like for all big mountain rides. I hadn't banked on this, the main trail, and this is sort of descent. There's a foot deep in snow in places. You just can't get traction. Can't see a damn thing. It's, oh God, bonkers is the word. I was hoping that on the south side it may be a little less snowy, but that's not the case, obviously. Good God. After a bit of a detour, I think I found the path again. Christ! Done some fucking silly things in my time. This one, next to the biscuit. But then, look at that. Going there later is where we're going, hopefully. At least I'm dropping out of the clouds now. Hoping to drop out of the snow line soon as well. This has been hard work. been hard work. Man, that wind is insane! Oh God! Oh no! It's going to be a snowy descent. Shite! Oh. So one of the roughest descents I know of is covered in snow. Deep snow, because it's drifted. So, God, no, this is just crackers. Can't get going. The bloody wind and the snow and the ice. I'm leaning into the wind, leaning into it, and there's, oh, it's blowing me massively off course. Christ almighty! Well, this is not what I planned. So that's dolly wagon. That's what you're contending with. And in this wind, and with that snow and ice on it today, on a bike I'm not familiar with, I'll admit I'm chickening out. So, yeah, dolly wagon. It is one rough old track, and not many people like it. A lot of people treat this as the way up. It's got sticks on the other side, but I'm not really that keen on sticks. So I don't actually think it's a bridle way, because it's not all that, I don't think. I think it's massively over height, whereas this is rough as hell. But ooh, the bottom bit, when you get down to the tail and down from there, is lovely. Oh, yeah, I'm going really slow down it today. Top half, not a chance today, and I'm sorry to disappoint, and I will come back and ride it again, because as I say, it's worth doing, but too many factors against me today. Oh, but it's a wind again now! Oh, God. People talk about the Alps around pump. Yeah, it's now compared to dolly wagon pump, I'll tell you that. And that there is Gravesdale Town. Lovely little town. Quite often see people wall camping by it. You can see why, can't you? I think the worst place is to camp. Anyway, back to the e-bike review, I suppose. He says, concentrating badly on riding. So there are many advantages to e-bikes, and yeah, I'm really liking riding this one. But I think there's disadvantages as well. I mean, hiker bike, for instance. Now today's hiker bike isn't actually that bad a one, and on this it was quite a bit harder than I've done it with a normal bike, basically because I couldn't get the bloody walk mode to work, so pushing £52 bike up a hill, and that's not easy. But then again, you could counteract that by saying that the energy I expended there I saved earlier on by being able to ride up the zigzags, which I never have before. So another disadvantage has to be the fact that if you've got an e-bike, like none of your mates do, then you're kind of waiting for a long time at the top of climbs. And Christian's fine with that, really. He just loves being out on his bike with his mates, and I guess most people do. But, you know, there must be times when it's like, I wish everybody else had one of these. We could get so much further, have so much more adventure time. And I guess the opposite side of that is when the majority or everybody in a group has an e-bike and one member doesn't. sort of, is it a little bit pissing off for them that the mate's going to zoom up hills quickly and they can't. Hey, you know, most groups, it wouldn't really matter if you wait for your mates, don't you? Right, there we go. Now this, as I mentioned in the wind before, you couldn't hear me, one of my favourite bridleways. It's just beautiful. Loose, rocky, twisty, not steep, but you can probably see I'm not going to pedal much. Oh God. Yeah, not everyone's cup of tea this one, because it is a little bit awkward. The other issues with e-bikes isn't e-bikes at all. It's people's attitudes, and it goes both sides. One, you get the people who don't ride e-bikes who just really quite nasty about people who do, and just slag off e-bikes, say it's cheating and everything else. And come on, it's riding bikes, it's having fun. It's nothing different really, just the way you get up. Well, the other, and just as annoying to me, is e-bike evangelists. They're like people who've given up smoking, then want to tell people who still smoke, oh, you're ridiculous, best thing I ever did, oh, I'd never do it again. Well, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I can see how you like your e-bikes. Doesn't mean we should not like our non-e-bikes, or that they're any less fun, because they're just as much fun. Places, I'll discuss in a bit, I think more fun. But you know, for me, I think the thing that puts me off is the weight. Now, I know people say the weight doesn't matter, it's got a motor, but it's downhill sections, and it's stuff like this, where you're popping off rocks and bunny hopping over stuff, and just not as agile. And my Orange isn't a light bike, there's, you know, no denying it, but it's an outside light and 52 pounds, and for me that would be a deciding factor. Now, I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying I don't like this Rocky Mountain, because it's a bloody awesome little bike. It's great fun. It handles really well, obviously it pedals well, it looks good. A lot of e-bikes don't look good at all, it's an abomination, but it's great. It's just not for me, and it's because of this kind of ride, it's not for me. I reckon if the majority of my riding was messing around in the woods, stuff like that, then it would be the bike for me a lot more. 2.5 years ago, I came and did this look with my mate Pete, and I said to him, oh yeah, Drysdale Town right away, it's awesome, so it's a bit rough, you'll be knackered, but when you get to the bridge at the bottom, after that, it's a piece of piss, it's like a flow trail. This is the bottom bit, the flow trail apparently. He was a bit nonplussed with my description, shall we say. Just gotta let the bike go and stuff like that. There you go. That was slippy. Another thing I've noticed about this, bottom bracket's a bit lower than the orange. Alright lad.
You alright?
Yeah, cheers. Whoa. Still on the flow trail. In conclusion, have I enjoyed riding an e-bike today up in the lakes? Despite all the crappy conditions I've faced, yes, the climb up, going up Keppel Cove and zigzags, just amazing. You can ride up it. I mean, the hiker bike towards the end, that wasn't pleasant, but it's not pleasant with any bike, to be honest. The descent, which is probably the bit you'd think doesn't make much difference, I much prefer my Orange, and I prefer it because you can lift the front end up, you can hop over things, you can react quicker because it's lighter. Overall, same conditions, both bikes, I'd go with the orange. And there's probably quite a few who disagree with me on that. So, next week, who knows? Well, it won't be the lakes, unfortunately, but it'll be somewhere and it'll be something. So, until then, bye bye.